Hey guys!
Hey everyone! Welcome to our garden. We're officially doing a garden tour for you guys today, so we're so excited. If you don't know us, I'm Dr. Holly, this is Sebastian, and our little man Luca. We own Set Apart Health as a chiropractic office, and Set Apart Farm and Gardens is our nursery.
Yep.
But we wanted to show you our new garden. So previously we did a garden with my parents, and we did Back to Eden style, and we loved it, and we love the soil health is just amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's like unlike anything else. So if you haven't done or heard of that, Back to Eden, you can look that up. But we did a little bit different style gardening this time just because of ease and season of life and kids and all that stuff. We have one
Yep.
kid, but child and working and all that stuff. We wanted to try a raised bed garden. We want to keep it big so we can grow a lot of stuff, but maintenance free. So Sebastian always wanted to do rocks, and I'm like, I don't know. I love Mediterranean, but it just seems so harsh. But I love it because I feel like I can breathe when the plants
Yes.
are growing. I feel like the gravel makes it so you can breathe, and so far it has been little maintenance, weed-wise, and we can plant so much, and it was so easy in the raised beds. So I don't know if you want to add anything on all that because you built most of it with our helper Caleb.
Yes, so we can walk and talk, or I can show you guys, but we're going to kind of go back and forth, give you a tour. I'll hold the camera and vice versa. But essentially, we both designed kind of the garden. I like to draw everything out on the iPad.
Yep.
We have an iPad Pro, and then I just draw things out. I'm super visual, very artsy, and I love to draw and do all that stuff. So when we were designing and landscaping and doing all this stuff, I love things to look neat and tidy and symmetrical. I like them to be functional, but also aesthetically pleasing and easy. Because I know myself, if it's not pretty, if it's like super just cluttery looking and weedy, I just won't want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that for me, I want to go and every day in the garden, I want to look at it, I want to see what's growing. It's very defined. You know what's planting space,
Yeah.
and you know what's walkway. So that's why I wanted the rocks. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and for us, it's obviously a place to grow a ton of our food, a place to have beauty, but we're just in it all the time. All throughout the
Yep.
day, we spend time in it, walking in it, getting stuff and harvesting it with Luca, and it's so fun. So we want it to be a fun place that actually it's really close to our house, and I told Sebastian, I don't know, I think it's too close, but it's just where it had to be for the size of it, and actually I love it because Luca can still be right here, and it's like an extension of our house. So I actually love how close it is.
So right there you can see there's the house. This is our back patio area. And then here we have rocks, and everything is still kind of under construction still. We just moved in our house 4 or 5 months ago. I don't even remember. We built it, designed it ourselves.
It's been a lot.
And we did most of the work ourselves, and we've done all the work of landscape mostly ourselves with the help of some friends and family. So anyway, I'll give you a brief tour and I'll talk about little things, but then we'll get to the garden. So here is the house. Here's the patio area. This is our patio that we built with deck tiles from IKEA. Turned out awesome. We love it. And then this is a gravel area. This is a little patch of grass that we did. And then we are going to plant some plants and do some landscaping around the garden beds right here and right here. You can see here, I've been spraying that organic spray for weeds. It's been working awesome, but I haven't done it, so I need to keep doing that. The mulch here, we're going to do a bed, and then this area, you'll see in future videos, we're going to develop into Dr. Holly's, your tropical area. So we're going to do like a tropical area. We're not exactly sure the design of it, all the details, but there'll be some fun tropical plants and just a fun little area to incorporate into the landscape. And then back there, we are building our chicken coop. And here is the entrance to our garden.
Welcome!
Welcome.
Alright, so Luca is going to show you one of his favorite spots. And he's got his harvest basket out, so he wants to show you how to harvest some things. So sweet. Okay, Luca, it's all you.
Okay, let's see. First, find a big radish stem. Let's see, like this one. So, if you don't see like a red fin sticking out, then don't pull that. So see the radishes like this little guy, just toss.
I like that.
So
They're starting to form.
if you see like little strings above, like This one, just wait a little, cause then you'll have a radish like the size of a golf ball. Let's see, that's not a golf ball, that's a tennis ball. There, that's the size of a radish you'll get if you wait longer.
Awesome job. Give me a high five.
Look at that one
Wow.
you got.
They're getting bigger every day.
Yep. So you might be surprised if you get big rashes, cause they give you a surprise, cause they grow overnight.
All right, guys, so when we designed our garden, we wanted to have double beds on part of it. So the perimeter, if you see, are all the double, which is 2-foot bed, and then the ones on the inside are the single-foot bed. And I didn't like the idea of having a huge fence around it because we want it to be pretty. But we have a huge deer problem here, which we've never had before, so we're trying to think, how can we do this? And Sebastian, I think, had mentioned this kind of fence many times, and I said no, and I said no. And then I think I saw the right picture where I was like, I guess we could make it pretty. So we're trying to make it like a trellising system / keep the deer out. It's not finished yet. We have the back panels that we still need to frame out. But I think overall it's getting pretty. It looks nice and it's functional too, which I actually like. It's a lot of trellising. We're also going to put a trellis here on the entryways, and then we have some David Austin climbing roses, the Strawberry Hill pink ones. It's going to be gorgeous. We just have to design a gate that can be high enough to keep the deer out. So far, they've been leaving it alone. Thank you, Lord, but we still want to have that in place. Okay, so we also we want to have some kind of pretty area. We might do a pergola or something in the middle with a table. I want a huge, like, long harvest table. We want benches on the area because we're here a lot. So we want places to eat and places to sit and make it just a fun, like, family spot. So we designed those 4 inside beds, like L shapes, so that they can kind of surround a table area. So those L-shaped beds are where we put a lot of our proven winners flowers, as well as the entranceway, just to have pretty flower color. And then we put a lot of our herbs. We'll show you that closely later in there. And then the rest, Sebastian just, like, he drew it out and designed what fits for long beds and short beds, and tried to make it so that we had enough walkway, enough area to pull the cart around, our grilla cart. Just make it fun. So let's go show you close-ups.
Good
So
job. High five.
here's a big radish.
Wow.
That's what it looks like. So just shake off the dirt
That's exciting.
and then just wash off in the house, and then look how big this radish is. So this is my carrots. It's like a carpet of carrots.
It is like a carpet of
Not
carrots.
fun.
Look how
they're
my
getting
shadow.
big.
It's a super sunny, beautiful
So-
day, but my shadow's in the way, so hopefully you can see this okay.
They're getting big.
But they're getting big. We went through and thinned some.
Should we pick one for him, Luca? Once you
hold
pull
on,
one
I'll
out.
tell you. So, if even though your carrots might seem a little small like this, you can still find some in the little group, and then maybe pick a few just to give the others some space. So let me find the picture. We planted my peas a little, let's see, before Christmas or the snowstorm. So they're starting to flower, see?
They're starting to flower.
So that means you'll have some peas. So just cover them if you have a problem with deers, because then they could munch. Oh, here's a Mr. Green Lizard.
It's a baby, isn't it?
Lizard,
And we
the
got some bees.
We got some life in
Everyone's
here.
doing
Yes. So if you have bees, that means your garden is getting pollinated.
That's
So
right. So
if-
these are all of
if-
Luca's peas. He loves peas and carrots. So we planted all of this.
So, if you have really long peas like this, just wrap them around a trellis if you
Yep.
have.
So that's the
So-
nice part of this trellis is we're wrapping it all the way and they're growing all the way up. Okay, so we planted these turnips by seed. We also have a whole bunch that we have in the plug trays too that are ready to go. So I have to find a spot to put all those in. But Luca, let's show them our lettuce. This is our lettuce bed, and we have tons of lettuce. We've been picking it probably every day or twice a day, and it just keeps growing and growing into these beautiful heads. You want to show them how we harvest it?
Yep. So just get a nice
Yep.
So don't pick the inside leaves, pick the outside, and this is a nice big leaf.
You got it.
Isn't that cool? So we pick the outside leaves instead of chopping down all the heads, and that way you have lettuce that just like for months just keeps going. Otherwise it would just be done. So this is our butter crunch lettuce, our salanova. I've honestly kind of stopped harvesting that a teeny bit because it's so pretty. I just want to keep it.
I hope the camera does this justice. It's so bright in person. So I hope the camera captures. These look like roses.
They're just like little rosettes. They're so pretty. And then if you've seen some random spots, I think ants are trying to eat them, so we got to figure that out. But another section of butter crunch, and it's just the best tender lettuce ever. So this is huge. It was more baby, but it's just still so tender. So it's been so fun getting to feed a lot of people with this. Do you want to go to the garlic one next, Sebastian?
Sure.
Okay. So if we swing around here, you see on the end here we have one row of garlic that didn't fit in our garlic bed. Here is the rest of our garlic bed, and this is supposed to be planted, best time would be in fall, like October, November, but our garden wasn't finished. So we popped this in, do you remember when it was? January?
Oh, we did that video, the garlic planting
Yeah.
video, so check that out.
Yep.
Whenever we did that video,
That's when we planted it.
that's when we planted it.
So we thought better late than never, and it's actually growing really well. So they might just be a little smaller, which we're fine with, but at least it's in. Look how beautiful they look. And I've actually been so thankful. We did Land and Sea espoma compost on top, and it's been kind of like a mulch. Plus we're just out here every day, but there hasn't been like a super huge weed problem. Like honestly, we've barely weeded this. Excuse me. Except right here you can see just like a little tiny weed, so we've just been popping them out as soon as we see them, and it hasn't been like a huge massive weed issue. So that has been a blessing, because sometimes it's hard to get your garden to look nice without that.
So this one bed at the entryway here, we talked that we planted some flowers. Right here, I wanted to show you what flowers we all planted. We have some Nemesia from Proven Winners. We wanted to plant tons of Nemesia here, and they're just starting to bloom now. But before you know it, this is going to be a big mass of these beautiful blooms. But anytime the wind hits these and the sun is on them, the smell is so strong. We love it. It smells like lilacs and lavender and honey and So right here at the entrance, when you walk in, we wanted it to be just really good smelling. And then these are trailing blue vein supertunias, and this is salvia from Proven Winners. It's the Rockin' the Blues?
Yep.
Yeah, Rockin' the Blue salvia. These will get about 4 feet tall. So during the season, right now this doesn't look like much but green. It'll be all flowers. These flowers will be here spilled over.
Yep,
Can you
they
smell it? Yes.
They're so good.
And we're going to mimic the same planting on this side. We just haven't planted them yet.
We have to pull them from the greenhouse because they're looking so pretty. Those we just did early to try it, and they still are doing so much. They're still doing really well, but the ones in the greenhouse are in full bloom, so I got to bring them out. I just want a quick note too. We have the little gravel down in the garden. We have the big gravel out in the walkways, and I love the little gravel. It's just so nice and so fun. But we do have, I think we have plastic and cardboard laid down, Sebastian, is that right? Underneath it, and we've just been doing a lot of construction work, so we need to put another layer of gravel because it's starting to poke through. So if you see that, that's what those little spots are. And then over here is our other 2 beds of lettuce.
So this lettuce is really good in salads, and especially with peas, carrots, and cheese.
So good.
Yeah, we made that and it was just delicious.
Wasn't
Good
it?
job.
We made it with homemade French dressing. So
It's
good.
so good.
So this is our brine lettuce. It's like a red romaine lettuce. More butter crunch, brine, and then what do we have on the end, Luca?
So these are golden beets.
Golden beets.
Look
are
how
stuck in-
big they've got.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there anything forming yet?
Any beets? I bet there are. You can see those.
Oh, yeah. You can see a stalk right there forming.
That's
Yep.
exciting. So behind me is the other lettuce bed. This is all-star lettuce mix. And you can see it's just so fun, like so many curly lettuces and just a mix. And this is like a coral lettuce. You want to pick some, sweetie?
Yep. So get some nice leaves.
So I think he's going at the parsley. We have some parsley. We have rosy red pak choi. The green summer I think is called pak choi. And then potatoes on the end. We'll show you that. Whoa! Did you get a beautiful section? Let's smell it. Oh my gosh. That's the best fresh. Wish you guys could smell it. Parsley ever. So good.
Yeah, it's so good.
So you may be wondering, why do we have so much lettuce? Because we have lettuce here, and over there. We eat a ton of lettuce.
Yeah, we eat usually a salad or two a day. We love to give it to our family and friends too, but we just love having lettuce that, you can just pick continually, like that cut and come again. When you grow your own food, like that's your food to live off, it's so fun, and that's why we grow a lot more of it, because we honestly don't buy that much at the grocery store that way. So we know it's nutrient dense, it's non-toxic, and it's wonderful.
And you don't have to plant as much lettuce as we do, but a lot of people that buy from a nursery always wonder how much lettuce should they grow. And we always recommend to grow as much as you can fit and grow more than you think, because if you want lettuce continually, sometimes when you harvest from it, you have to wait and there's a lull, which means then you have to buy lettuce. And the point why we grow so much lettuce is so that we don't have to buy lettuce.
Yep, exactly.
So I'd rather have extra, be able to give away to family and friends, but still have enough for us as well.
And like he said, you don't have to, we love doing it on this large of a scale, but if you have an apartment and a patio, you still can do pots and all that kind of stuff. Or if you have a little backyard or a farm, you can do it on any scale. But just the important thing is if you enjoy it and you want to grow your own food, it's doable. So what would you like to show them, Sebastian?
Right here. So I want to show you guys, again, here, you want to hold it? So I want to show you guys, again, this is the entrance. There's Lizzie the lizard. And then here we're going to plant the Proven Winners flowers so that we mimic the other side. And I can't wait for those to be in full bloom. And I don't think we talked about it on the other bed, but we planted where you see the radishes, carrots, and then the whole wall of peas. But also we planted, or Dr. Holly did, she planted some sweet peas that are blooming. Ooh, and a little weed. We didn't plant that.
I didn't plant the weed.
But the sweet peas are going to climb up this trellis and be beautiful flowers. So we want to make sure that in the garden we have, of course, we have production, but we mix a lot of flowers and a lot of veggies because it's just pretty. So for the aesthetics of it, we love it, but there's also a very practical purpose. We plant a lot of flowers because it attracts a lot of the beneficial insects. And then you really deal with less insect pressure when you attract beneficial insects. And then also, you see here, like this kale, they're really prone, especially in the summer, to get eaten by those cabbage loopers and other bugs. But by bringing in a lot of beneficial insects early on with like spring blooming flowers, we're trying to prevent all of those things. But this will be a wall of sweet peas, and we're hoping that it'll just fill and look beautiful. This right here is some kale. We got a lot of different varieties. This one is winterbore or darker kale. One of those, but
either one.
We plant them pretty densely, and then we always pick the outer leaves as we eat them. This is red boar kale. It's one of our favorites. It's one of the sweeter varieties, and we pick it as small as this. So this kale, a lot of people wait for it to get as big as a grocery store. We start picking at this size, like our lettuce, like baby kale, and then it just always grows. So right now we just start picking, and we have kale from now until pretty much the end of the year, until next year. And then this is more, is this the same variety, darker boar? No, not darker boar. Darker boar or winter boar?
I'm not sure, honestly. It's one of them.
I can't remember which one we planted, but it's the same. So green, red, green. And then we have, this is red Russian kale. I can tell by the leaf structure. This one, when it gets really cold, it gets really sweet. I love red Russian kale. And this one is lacinato or dinosaur kale. Or Toscano. It has beautiful big long leaves. We love actually making kale salad. We love making Caesar salad with this dinosaur kale because the dressing in Caesar, when we make the homemade dressing, is really acidic in a good way, but it can hold up to the dressing and it'll save in the fridge as opposed to regular lettuce that you can eat it that day, but if you have leftovers and it's pre-mixed in the dressing, it just doesn't hold or doesn't keep.
I want to add to that real quick. So yeah, the reason we grow a lot of different kales is because probably the different kinds of things we make them. So like you said, with the Toscano, we do either a Caesar salad or kale chips is really good. That red Russian, like you said, we make a kale salad, which is where you massage it, and it just is amazing. That curly one you can use for kale chips or kale salad as well. And then the red one is super fun if you do it with like a fruit, like pear salad we make a lot.
Oh yes, when like goat cheese and pear and really just...
Because it's sweeter.
Yes, it's sweeter and more lettuce-like. So if you think you don't like kale, grow the red Russian kale because sometimes people associate...
Not red Russian, red boar.
Red boar.
Yep.
Sometimes people associate kale with like bitterness. It's really not, especially when you grow it yourself.
Yeah, so good. So that's why we have all different kinds. Okay, so like I said, we have some pak choi popped in there. In here, we honestly use it for our salads. You can use it for stir fry. We just use it for a lot.
You can make sauerkraut with it, use it like cabbage.
You could freeze it. In these two narrow beds, the narrow long beds, we have our flower section. So we have over there and over here. And we thought this would be a fun area just to do like pretty flowers. So this is our ranunculus. Isn't that fun? I've always wanted to grow ranunculus. So mass planting of those. We pre-sprouted them. We had them in the greenhouse. We got them. And here we even have some more in pots to do there. But these are all different mix between like pinks and purples and whites. So I'm so excited to see those blooms.
I did make a video on pre-sprouting them. I just haven't uploaded it yet. But if you guys have questions, that video will be coming and then we'll show you. So you're seeing the future and then you'll see the past.
We'll show you a sneak peek here.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, and then in this end of the bed, in that bed, Luca wanted to share what we planted.
What's that?
So these are potatoes. So these were store-bought. They're in the back of our pantry, and we forgot about them. So they started to sprout, and we thought instead of throwing them in the composter garbage, we thought let's just plant them and give them a chance and see what they do.
That's
and
right.
Look how big they've got.
Like these are huge. They were not like that a day or two ago. Massive green plants. So like you said, these are the store-bought red ones, I believe. And then down here we have the rest of them. But we wanted this year to grow just a mass amount of potatoes and then store them to hopefully have enough for the year. So let's show them the other bed, Luca.
So this is, let's see, red potatoes.
That is Adirondack red. Good job. And then what do we got next?
Let's see. I'll pull the tag out and see. King Harry.
Good job, sweetheart.
Yep.
And we also did a potato video if you want to know more specifics on growing potatoes.
And this is Yukon Gold.
That one's actually Huckleberry Gold, but close. Yep.
And this is blue.
That one's
purple.
the Yukon Gold.
Yep, Yukon Gold here.
And let's see, this is blue, I think.
Adirondack blue. And then the rest we have more of the store red potatoes. And actually I think we told you wrong. On that side is the store russet potatoes, and these are the red and baby potatoes from the store.
Yes.
So I'm excited. They're all showing their green. So we are gonna have lots of potatoes, hopefully.
I wanted to backtrack a little bit here. I wanted to tell you guys about why we did those beds a little shallower over there where we had the flowers. Here we have to finish putting a cattle panel, and then we'll put another trellis with roses in the entrance there. But I left a little gap and I made those beds a little shallower because right there I want to build a little bench or something so that when you're in the garden working, it's just really nice. Sometimes, like right now, there's a little pocket of shade, and I wanted to put a little bench here, there, have a seating area. I did the same thing on the other side, and then here we'll have a table, of course. But it's just nice in the garden to create little areas where you just have seating, because sometimes the garden just becomes all work for people, and we want it to be a place where we could have friends over and family and have a meal, or just have people hang out with us while we do stuff
and visit.
So it's just creating an environment that makes you want to be outside. It's enjoyable, and then there's a backdrop of beautiful flowers behind you when you're sitting, and even just pretty smells. So anyway, I wanted to make sure, because I knew some people were probably asked, why are those beds a little skinnier than the other ones.
Yep. It's so fun to have, like you said, an environment for people and just for your family and your kids to learn, like, just enjoy outside in all aspects and not for work all the time. So
can I tell them
yeah,
about
so
my
this
carrots?
is Luca's special section right here.
So let's see, these are giant carrots. They can like get from down here to like normal sized carrots if you pick them a little early, but if you leave them a little longer, they can get like up to your shoulder, I
So
think.
he's right. These carrots can grow 2 to 3 feet in the right conditions. So we're praying that they can grow that big because you can see they've mostly all germinated. So if these grow, we'll show you guys because that would be absolutely amazing. So they are a special rare variety from Baker Creek Seed. More sweet peas in the back, and then if you look, I'm not sure in this bed, but the other beds we did a dwarf sweet pea in the front. So these are more carrots, more radishes, and then right here it's not, well, I think these are weeds. I don't think it's germinated yet, but I did parsnips for the first time. They take a long time to germinate and a little bit longer to grow, so let's hope we get some because that'd be so fun. And then we have some rutabaga. I always want to say rutabagies, but rutabaga, I guess, is Sebastian's technical term when he says is the correct way to say it. So that would be really, really fun.
So a few of these are round, orange, and yellow.
Yeah, and you even have in the other ones some purple, some red ones. So they make carrots in all different colors. So we're going to have rainbow colors of carrots.
Those are Easter basket radishes.
Yeah, that's right. Good job.
So
Easter
I
colors.
planted from here to here. So that's all radishes.
That is. Okay.
We're gonna have to thin them. I wanted to show you, if you're wondering what this behind here is, these are our fruit trees that we just have here in pots. They're in holding until we can find their home and plant them.
They kept falling down in our other holding spot, and I thought if I can maybe put them up by the fence, which has worked, I didn't want them to get broken, so they have held really well. So they're going to be planted soon. That's my plant hoard stash area. This is, I think, the first time we've grown it. This is kohlrabi. I think it's the purple kohlrabi. It's looking beautiful. This is our rainbow Swiss chard, and everything kind of looked, you know, a little limp when you plant it as plant starts, or even just takes a while as seeds. But after like 2 weeks, it's kind of the good sweet spot. It just all bulks up, and it's starting to look like that, guys. So you get to see it at its prime.
And here,
So this is one of our strawberry beds. How exciting is that? So these are, oh, look at Sebastian. Making strawberries. Look at that, guys. So they're already on and formed. They just need to redden up. So that's so exciting. We have 2 beds of strawberries. This is the short bed, and this is everbearing. So we're gonna have strawberries all year long, or all summer long. So that's super exciting. We love to grow, well, we love to grow a lot of food, but we love to grow a lot of strawberries because we freeze them for the year, and we just keep using like strawberry jam, strawberry smoothies, whatever you need strawberries for. It's so nice having your own, because if you guys grow your own food, and you know it doesn't compare anything to the grocery store, so we want to make sure that we can grow as much as we can. So these are the rest of our ranunculus and holding that we had pre-started, and just need to transfer them to our other pots. This is our 3 proven winners honeyberries from last year. I'm not sure if they're still alive because the deer ate on them so heavily last year. So I'm giving them a chance, but I also bought some more if I have to replace them from a different company because they've been hard to get a hold of. So I really want to grow them. I hope they do. Look at all of our spinach. It's just starting to bulk up. It was looking a little and puny, but now it's starting to bulk up. And we put spinach in a lot of stuff, including smoothies, because it's really high in iron and calcium. But you can also freeze it really well too. So try to grow as much as we can when it's cooler. It likes the cooler environment. This is Luca's little garden bed. He's going to show you all of that. You planted all of this yourself, didn't you?
So, the outside little box is stevia plants, and then the second one is strawberries. So if it has flowers, don't rip them out because that means it's going to make a strawberry. And then the petals will turn green, and then you'll see like a little green bump in there. That would be a strawberry. And then when it's like big red, that means it's ready to pick. And then after strawberries, there's beets. So these are purple.
Yep.
And then the inside is chamomile.
Isn't that beautiful?
So you could either dry it and make tea out of it,
Yeah.
or what else could you?
Tea's a good one. You can use it for herb too, or medicinal. Do you want to show them how you eat your stevia plant? How do you eat it, Luca?
If you can just pick off a leaf, or you could dry it to make stevia, or you could eat it plain like this.
How do you like it?
Ooh, how is
It's super sweet too.
It is super sweet. So on this back area, you can see that it gets some afternoon shade. So we try to plant as much like cooler crops like want shade, and they'll last a little longer. But I do have a ton of like hyacinth beans and scarlet runner beans that they do like full sun, but because I'm running out of room, I'm gonna put them here in this back area and just have them trellising up here, and they'll be full of flowers. I think it'll be so pretty. We have more kohlrabi and kale stuck in here. We have an empty spot here because we just took out some celery and arugula that was kind of stunted a little bit, and I have new plant starts that I want to put in from our nursery. So we're going to put that in, and we have red ruby cabbage there. And then this bed right here is our beet bed. So we have it mixed from red beets. These are the Chiago beets and then golden beets. And they're doing pretty good. They're getting a little slow. So we took a few out that were slow, and then we're going to replace them with some more fresh ones to see if we can speed them along.
We had some old trays that we saved from last year, and they stayed in those trays for a long time. They were seeded a long time ago.
As we were waiting for our garden to be ready.
Yeah, we tried to get ahead, but they just sat and the garden took longer. So we just tried to plant what we could, but yeah, they were just too far gone.
So let that be encouragement. There's always some good things, some bad things when you're gardening, and it's just life because not everything is perfect, and that's okay. Some people get discouraged, like, oh no, this didn't turn out, or the bugs are getting this, and you just kind of work with it, and it's okay. It's okay.
That's why we plant so much, because if you plant a lot and half of it dies, you were at least successful, right?
This is our other huge strawberry bed. I'm so excited because it's just a lot, and I'm really excited. So they already have their strawberries on too. 1 second, sweetheart. There's the strawberries. Showed you guys before, but I'm just excited that I'm actually seeing berries. So we grew a lot of berries in the garden with my parents too. And we had buckets and buckets. Oh yeah, you found one too. So these are the same kind. They're the ever-bearing, and then those are the proven winners.
Look how beautiful
berry
they are.
Treasure red. You want to show them?
Look.
Look at that.
Oh, did you
So pretty. I love these blooms. Did you know that? Oh, go ahead.
I would say I just like to grow them just for the blooms. They're so pretty.
Did you know that strawberry plants are actually related to the rose plants? So these blooms actually smell like roses.
So good. So good. I love it. And then this back row, I'll show you. Walk around here. This is our broccoli. It's let's see, what is it? April. So it's a little late. Like I said, we were waiting for our garden to be finished, but that's life. So we'll see what we can get from that. But you can honestly eat the broccoli leaves too, or just the little tiny heads that grow. So broccoli, cauliflower. I think we have all three, like purple, orange flame, which is an orange, and a white one in here. And then radicchio. It's sometimes just fun to grow because they're little rosettes. They're so pretty. So we got that popped in there, and then on these two short beds we have all of our snapdragons. I honestly can't remember what I put in here, but I think this was a purple. We had some apple blossom and either light pink or ivory. I think ivory on the end.
We cram in our snapdragons because it makes a mass. They'll be really tall, and it makes a big mass of beautiful blooms.
Yes, I love it. So that's that side. We should do this. We have the inside beds to show you guys.
So here are our L-shaped beds. And these L-shaped beds are double beds, just like the ones in the perimeter. If you notice the ones here, where the strawberries are and all the lettuce, those are single beds. They are 12 inches tall. The double beds are 24 inches tall. And here we repeated some kind of similar color tones as we did in the front when it comes to flowers. You may not see too many blooms yet, but there's some already. Once the days start heating up a little more, we'll have more blooms. But
Get it, Luca? That's fun.
my mom got these for us because she said it'll scare the deer away. So, hey,
Yeah.
whatever works, right?
Because the deers might get scared by the spinning, and they might get afraid that they might get their heads chopped off.
Yikes,
They'll
Luca.
get their heads chopped. Whoa, I'd be pretty scared too.
All right.
So right here we have some more of the trailing veined super petunias that are just a beautiful color. Some started to bloom, but honestly it's just a little cold yet. They will start to trail and take over once it gets a little warmer, and they will be beautiful. We have that Nemesia all over here sprinkled because we want that smell everywhere. And here is that rosy pak choi, and she is big. We planted this maybe earlier, or did we plant it at the same time as the other one?
A little bit earlier, but wasn't much. Isn't that crazy?
It just got massive, and it's starting to create that kind of pak choi like stalk.
Yeah.
Get
So-
that weed.
So, I actually can't see because of the sun. But that's why we wanted to do the video. Even though it's a little bright out, we wanted to capture everything in its glory right now. But also, we want to come in here and just harvest some of the stuff that is just beautiful and ready so that we don't miss it.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and harvest today this pak choi here because it is at its prime. The days are gonna get warmer, and pak choi will start to send a bloom stalk, and it'll start to
Yeah.
bolt. So right
So-
now,
I was just going to add, so this one I think had a bloom on it, so we just popped it off. You can keep eating off it like that, or you can harvest it.
Yeah. So we're going to pick them, even though they're not full size. That's okay. We're gonna pick them. You can again eat them in salads, stir fries. Just chop it off like you do cabbage, and then make sauerkraut with them. We got other flowers going on here, like calabricoas or million bells. Some people know them by. They're the proven winners. They're the ones that we have at our nursery and our plant sale. Once the rosy pak choi is out, these will get some more light because these overcrowded. Again, we like to cram things in. We plant them all together, and we are fine with that. This is some beautiful large Italian parsley, the same one that we have on our website for our nursery. So if you guys are buying from there, you can see what this looks like, and this will continue to grow.
That's beautiful, Luca.
If you plant parsley like this in the fall, it'll actually overwinter and last you all spring too. So next year, make sure to get some parsley in the ground in fall, or this year. And then this is more matricaria or chamomile in the same family. Beautiful foliage, but it will put out those chamomile blooms, and it'll cover all this. So we'll have some height here. We'll have some beautiful spilling flowers. And over here in this bed, we have some more of the same kind of plantings of flowers, Nemesia, the super petunias. These blooms are just, oh. And then these are the calabricoas. They're the double orchid. You can see here some beautiful double blooms. These plants will start to spill and be just covered with blooms. This right here is some curly leaf parsley. I think it's called on the website, on our nursery, this is the darky variety. So if you're wondering what that looked like, that's darky. In every corner of the corner beds, we have the same planting of the matricaria.
Try to have
So,
a method to our madness.
yeah, there's a method to the madness. So when you're looking from the front over here at the garden, you'll see every corner of the garden beds will have just really little dainty flowers that are just standing above everything else, and it'll look beautiful. More parsley, more of the same flowers. Look at that, they just look so healthy and robust. We've been picking from these.
Gosh, guys, so fun. It's so pretty.
We love making a like a Greek dressing with this, a Greek salad, and then we blend this olive oil and mustard and balsamic and honey and a few other things.
Oh, it's
And
so good.
oh, it's one of our favorite dressings.
I actually craved it all the time when I was pregnant with Luca.
And then this bed is the same in terms of the petunias. Here we actually have some phlox. This is this is
Blueberry
Proven Winners,
intensia, yeah.
Blueberry Intensia phlox. And these actually like the heat more, so they'll take off. But even now they're beautiful. And then we have, oh my gosh, one of my
Josh got it.
favorite annuals is the Sweet Alyssum. This is Blushing Princess. These are sweet and dainty looking, but these ladies are beasts. They will just like, they may even touch the ground at the end of the season. They're beautiful. So here we have a giant mass of cilantro. This is starting to get long before it bolts because cilantro does not like the heat. If there's consistent days above the 80s, cilantro will want to bolt. So we're gonna mow this down, preserve it. You can actually take cilantro and grind it up with salt and make like a cilantro salt and let it sit in a pan like a baking sheet. Let it sit overnight to dry out. You can add like lemon peel to it, make it a cilantro lime salt,
Yum.
right?
Do that.
You can puree it with some olive oil and freeze it into cubes. You can dry it, but I feel like sometimes when it dries, the flavor with cilantro at least kind of goes away and it just tastes like a leaf. So beautiful, beautiful cilantro. More Sweet Alyssum, more trailing blue veins. We put this Supertunia at every corner so that it'll spill over and soften the edges. We do have a lot of structure in our garden, so we like to soften the edges with plants so that it looks just really natural and pretty.
More of the chamomile.
Chamomile in this corner, phlox, alyssum, and Supertunias. Well, I can't wait for all of these blooms to be just at their peak, and then you'll start seeing this. These herb beds will probably turn in the summer. We'll probably end up doing basil or something like that once the cilantro kind of phases out. And this is the last L bed here. So, oh, you can see here one of the blooms of the Supertunia trailing blue veins. It's like a iridescent, like blue, pink, purple.
It looks whiter in the camera, but it's a little bluer purple in person.
And this will be covered. This plant gets massive. This is one plant right here. And look, it's already starting. It almost looks like a succulent in its leaves. This is Luca's stevia that he planted. Stevia loves the heat. So once it starts kicking in, the heat, this will all be one mass. These actually are blooming too. Look at that. We have this Sweet Alyssum here, which I can smell. If you've never smelled Sweet Alyssum, it smells like honey. I love it. Oh, phlox. So here we have more cilantro, which is stunning. Again, we're gonna mow this sucker down before they start to bolt. We won't give it a chance. Look at these pretties. Supertunia, trailing blue veined. Get in there. We have more Sweet Alyssum, phlox.
Look at this stevia leaf.
No, is it
Oh,
really?
look.
That's a
Stevia?
stevia leaf.
Yeah, I didn't know that plant was that big. It's hiding.
Look how
at
big these are getting.
that. Oh my gosh, Luca. You wanna nibble? Oh, that's so fun.
You can dry stevia and
Yep.
just powder it and use it in drinks. Like you can make your lemonade. And stevia has become really popular, and it's just a plant. You can dry it and you can then grind it and powder it and just throw it into anything you want to
Natural
use.
sweetener.
Yeah, it's a natural sweetener, like lemonade. Throw some stevia in there.
All right, so this is, oh look at, there's some bumblebees in there, or honeybees, not sure. This is my lavender plant that Sebastian hates. It smells so good. But because it looks a little scruffy on the inside, it actually looked like it was dying last year, so I'm just thrilled that it came back. They're actually really expensive as a lavender topiary, but I am really surprised how hard they are to keep alive. They are very finicky. Maybe now it's its second year, it might be fine. But I've never seen it in bloom. Look at these, so this is so fun. Lavender topiary in bloom, so I'm just so excited for that. So I'm sorry, Sebastian, I still love it. And still smells.
Oh, I'm the type that if I see something that I don't like in the garden, or if it looks not prime, I will rip it out. You will try to salvage it and bring it back to life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh gosh, I just hate looking at it. Because this thing reminds me of last year, how it just died and we tried to bring it back to life. And I'm looking
the
at
other
it like,
one did die, so
yeah, they're just hard to keep pretty. It's supposed to be a very tight formed topiary. And I just look at it and I'm like,
All right, guys, thank you for joining us in our garden. We hope it was so fun to see. Everyone's garden is their own, joyful place, and that's what we wanted to make it. So
Yep.
I hope it was fun seeing a glimpse. We love hearing what your gardens look like and what you're all doing, because we all learn from each other and get fun ideas. But this is just a happy place and where we grow lots of our food.
I had a stevia leaf on my lip. So we hope that you did enjoy this garden tour and you got some inspiration and some just ideas. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. But besides that, we will see you guys in the next video.
Yes, we have some harvesting to do, so we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bite so hard.
Oh, sometimes they get me.
Tick, tick, tick. Yeah, that really hurt.
Tick, 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 tick. Eat my weeds, please. Eat the weeds.